Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. It's that time again where I bring you my tips, facts, or experience that you may or may not find helpful. Some of you have asked how I keep my character bags and banks so clean. I'm finally getting to that now, but be prepared for a multifaceted answer. A handful of things go into this. First, let's look at who and what my characters are, as this will determine a lot. The one I call my main is the one who does everything. That's Raldfir here. His bank is a nightmare, but we'll get to that. Second, I have class mains. These are my main characters for each class. This overlaps with my profession mains, all of which who hold one of the professions. The reason I'm telling you this is that only these alts here, who I've moved up to the top for you, are the ones whose banks I actually use. That means everyone else who I consider an alt will likely have very, very little in their banks. Here is an example of an alt's bank. Pretty empty. Yes, I do still put large 30-slot bags on them even though they're pretty empty, but I like being prepared. You never know when you might have to farm and store something random, like white and gray gear. I'm stocking up on all of those because they are going to be transmoggable in the future, and since I have empty bank space on my alts, I can use them for that. Anywho, while we're on this alt, let's look at a couple more things before I swap to my mains. So, one major factor of my cleanliness is that I keep all of my alts in the same guild, which is a personal guild that I use as a bank. I use that guild bank to store utility items, and to dump gold and sellable stuff. The add-on, GB Auto Deposit, dumps all but 50 of my gold every time I open the guild bank. This keeps my gold clean, as it were, and also helps me save up. I also make it a point to clean out my bags before each time I log out of a character. No exceptions. I dump out BOEs and materials into the guild, I vendor all the trash, and leave only the small handful of utility items in my bags. I keep those utility items here at the bottom of my bag so that they're obvious and easy to see. I also have the two middle bags here set to contain equipment and trade goods, which helps filter those types of items to the center of the bags. And this then sends all miscellaneous trash up to the top for easy vendoring. I'm sure you've noticed my bags and bank are all in one big window. I use the add-on Baganon to do that, and this lets me move stuff around to my liking. As for the personal banks, I don't store much of anything on alts as they do not collect physical items for the most part like my mains do. And the only materials that go into the reagent tab are the soulbound ones that I can't store in the guild bank. Now, let's hop onto a class/profession main. All the same rules apply here as far as the bank and bags go. The personal bank here will start to look more used though. These class mains are played far more than my alts as they hold main professions and also do any class or armor specific farming. This hunter I'm on, for example, is my main hunter, my main mail collector, and my main leather worker. Stuff that may apply to that can be seen here in his bank. However, I still store materials in the guild bank unless I'm currently working on something profession related. And even then, I sell pretty much any materials I get on the auction house. I can always buy or farm more if I need them. This helps prevent hoarder mentality, which keeps your bank from flooding with materials that you won't use for years, and instead converts them to gold for you to use on other things. As for the rest of the bank items, I have a very loose, simple organization pattern. Collectible armor and weapons like legendaries, physical currencies and stackables, and other unique items will go on the left side here, starting at the top. Things like quest items, BOP recipes, rep tokens, mog tokens, or other similar stuff that I may need to use soon, rather than just store, will go on the right side of the bank. There is a reason that I said unique and stackable though. See how this item says unique in the tooltip? Unique items, stackable items, and unsoulbound items cannot go into the void storage. That's right, I said void storage. I still use this to store things I want to keep. Some legendaries and other interesting items can go in here, and this is a great way to safely keep keepsake items that you find are worth holding onto, but may only use like once a year, if at all. It helps free up bank space too. If I could store more in here I would, but the void storage has rather restrictive rules. So with that all in mind, let's look at my main. And here's his nightmare of a bank. He's the one that does everything, so he's the one who gets to keep most of the stuff because he'll actually get the special items from all the content that I do. Much like his nightmare of a bank, his void storage is also quite full of old neat items that you can't get anymore, like those promotional weapons from the Warcraft movie release years ago now. I may have the transmog for them and don't need the physical items, but they're cool to me, and it's a neat keepsake. All of the same rules I've covered apply to him too, though, and I do so to help keep things somewhat clean. His bags tend to stay clean because I empty them every day, but his bank is getting a little wild. So that's the explanation on all of that. What are the takeaways? Let's break this down. Number 1, choose mains to store stuff. Don't store things on alts unless it's for a temporary farm. Number 2, store utility items and dump sellables into a personal guild bank. Number 3, use GB auto deposit to dump gold into your personal guild bank. Don't do this if you're not in a personal one. You'll lose all your gold. Number 4, use Bagnon or another bag add-on to let you see your bags better. Number 5, set your bags to hold specific item types for easier visual organization. Number 6, clean out bags before each logout. No exceptions. Number 7, use the void storage. It's your friend. Number 8, try to organize your personal banks by how often you use the items there. And number 9, as a bonus tip, make sure to sell your dumped mats and BOEs on the auction house every day. That way your guild bank doesn't get flooded. And I think that's pretty much it. It's all pretty simple, but this is what lets me keep my bags and banks clean. And there we have it. If you think I've missed information or you want to request I do a specific guide, let me know in the comments below. Even if I don't answer you, I just might add your idea to my list. As always, thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too latte.